Hey there viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review, and today's review is going to be on Legacy Evolution Devcon, the first release of this character to not be a convention exclusive. Yes, prior to 2023, Devcon was pretty much just a BotCon exclusive character. If you wanted this guy, you would pretty much either have to be a BotCon, or if you missed out, you would have to sell both of your kidneys to get him. However, thanks to Legacy Evolution, you can finally just walk into a shop and just buy this guy off the shelves. Considering he's actually on the shelves because, well, shelf warmers and all that. I don't know, I just buy figures online, so I don't really have that problem. But anyway, looking at the box for this guy, if I can actually grab it. Of course, we've got the standard Legacy Evolution packaging. So of course, we've got the standard lack of window. However, we've got these little flaps in there, just to hold his kibble. Here we've got a picture of his alternate mode. We've got his name right there. We've got the Autobot prefix. This side, we've got his robot mode. I actually really like this pose. Got a close-up of his face. This side, we've got usual mural. We've got this side. The back, we've got him in both modes. Got his Evo Fusion, which consists of taking these two thrusters and attaching them onto the gun. QR code if you want to scan that. There you go. And that's pretty much it for the box. And well, taking a look at the figure. Now, of course, if you don't know who Devcon is, well, this is a character from the G1 cartoon. Yeah, sort of like how Elita 1 originated from the G1 cartoon. Devcon is one of those characters who was created for one episode as a friend for Smokescreen. And yeah, now, like what, nearly 40 years later, he's got a figure. So if you've got Earthrise Smokescreen, you can just put him with him. Of course, I don't, unfortunately. I sort of missed out on that. But yeah, this is still a really cool standalone figure, in my opinion. However, as you can see, that sort of looks familiar, and well, yeah, this is pretty much a heavy retool of Studio Series Blur. However, I do mean heavy, like, the transformation has been reworked completely. And we'll go more into that later. So for now, let's just look at the alternate mode. Now, of course, seeing how Devcon was a cartoon original character, they sort of just winged his alternate mode. Because, like, see this little bit there? He also has that on his head, so I guess they were implying that his head forms this or something. Of course, there's like a little faux part on his actual head, but you can sort of see how this also looks like this. I'm assuming this is also meant to be like his chest or something in robot mode. Again, this is not the case here, because, you know, like, yeah, I'm sort of rambling just because it's really warm today. My brain is all getting fried, so let's just look at other details. Well, we've got the back here with these boosters. These ones are basically the arms. These ones are accessories in robot mode. And, well, are they Blast Effect compatible? Well, yep. And if we can just find the other ones. So we can actually have it so he's rocketing off. And for the ones that are formed from the arms, well, yeah, unfortunately these bits do get in the way, so while you can sort of untap it to plug in a blast effect, yeah, it's sort of impractical, but you can still have blast effects plug into these boosters, which, in my opinion, I just love how that looks. So, yeah. Now we're looking at some closer details here. Well, of course, we've got this front bit. Pretty sure that's not blast effect compatible. I'm not going to try it because, of course, we're still have to look at the accessories. So, the underneath, you can sort of see the remnants of Studio Series Blur because these are obviously the feet. They're still the same. The arms are, of course, fully retooled. What was originally the seat section from Blur is now this section. So that can't flip up anymore. The underneath, well, we can still sort of see the head. Got this port here for the gun, and, well, let's just actually look at the gun. And yeah, it's a pretty standard accessory, although we do have these ports on the side for the EVO fusion, which we'll take a look at in robot mode. And well, for blast effect compatibility, yep. So, of course, we can just, well, if we don't drop it, we can just plug this underneath here. So, yeah, we got this. And overall, that's pretty much all I have to say about this alternate mode. So, yeah, I really like the effort they put into the retooling, because, well, I mean, seriously, like, if you put this next to Studio Series Blur, I mean, of course, there's still a lot of the similarities, like the feet. I'm pretty sure the back is still quite similar. But the front, the arms, like, that's been entirely remolded. So, yeah. And in fact, the transformation as well has been fully redone. Of course, there's still some bits that are the same, but like there's some bits from Blur that are no longer present here. There's some new steps. It's like what they did with Metal Hawk, because Metal Hawk was a retool of Cyclonus, and that was reworked. So it's like what they did there. So yeah. So getting onto the transformation, you can leave on these boosters, and well, I think you'd have to actually sort of boot them around, because otherwise they would get in the way. So yeah, I'll just leave them off for now, but you can still have them attached onto here in robot mode, but for the ease of it, I'll just leave them off for the transformation. So to start off, just going to untap this entire section, flip this around, just move that around to the back, untap the arms, open up the legs, and the legs pretty much transform exactly like how Blur's did. So you flip them around, you open them. One thing that's slightly different is Devcon doesn't have the little fin that goes in like Blur did, but the rest is exactly the same. So you close this up, then the feet move in, There we go. Get the arms down, just rotate them. Get this backpack in. Open this up. Rotate the hand around. And here we have Devcon in robot mode. And if you want to just leave these on here, well, there you go. So if you just want to leave the boosters on here, then you can do that, but, well, I like to leave them on the gun for the Evo Fusions, but, yeah. In fact, like, there are some other places to put them, but I'll show that later on, because for now, let's look at the actual robot mode. And well, I actually really like how this looks. Of course, you can see like the head fin there, sort of like this on the back. Of course, this was meant to just be like a character created for the cartoon, sort of like the female Autobots. Trying to think of who else. Sentinel Prime, who I don't think his original like G1 cartoon appearance has a figure yet. Like the orange appearance, yeah, but his like cartoon appearance doesn't have a toy yet. But yeah, so but we can see like this is why you would plug in stuff if you're like giving him a weaponizer or a Junkion or something. But you can plug in the boosters if you want, and you might as well just do that right now, because you can plug these in. So if you want to give him like a jetpack, then you can. And I do think that the box actually shows that. In fact, no, the box actually shows them on his legs. It's just showing all the options. I'm pretty sure that the render... No, the render just doesn't show them at all, though. But this is an option that you can do. So if you want to give them, like, rocket boots, a jetpack... If you just want to have them as handheld, I guess, rocket launchers, then, yeah, you do have options. And, well, let's just look at this guy's head. And, yeah, I quite like how that looks. So, we've got that like, a helmet look that a lot of cartoon-only characters had. So, yeah. And we just give him his gun. Sort of struggling to hold it for some reason. There we go. So you have that. And of course, we can plug in the blast effects. And of course, we've got the ports underneath. So if you have any weaponizers, fossilizers, Junkions, if you're watching this in the future when the Uni part of Legacy is out, those rock figures. Well, these can, like, you can plug them into here, although, of course, with me, I like to plug in blast effects, because why not? But I'm sort of struggling here. I mean, of course, this is sort of unnecessary, because he's got, of course, he's got the rocket boots for that, so sort of unnecessary for this guy. So instead, let's take these. Let's take the gun. And we can just plug these into here. And here we have the Evo Fusion. Now, this is how the instructions tell you to do it. But if you remember the box, well, the box says to have the boosters facing forward, and I actually prefer that. Well, let's just turn these around. I actually prefer to have the boosters facing forward because I just think it adds a bit more firepower to it. Well, the instructions and the box say to have a plug onto the side of the arm, like some sort of, I guess, fusion cannon. I mean, sure. I guess Devcon can have his own fusion cannon. But, yeah, I just prefer to have him hold it. Because he can still hold his gun even with the Evo Fusion attached. And we can still go in for the full-on blast effect look if you want. So we can have this look, although, yeah, it weighs down his arm. Yeah, but I still like how this looks. And well, before we move on to the articulation, seeing how this is sort of a major retool of Blur, how does he look with Blur? Because this guy does not only change the transformation quite a bit, like, he only shares, like, a couple of parts, like, only a few. Because, like, the chest is different, the shoulders are different, the arms are different, the legs are different. It's like, what bits do they share? Well, I'd say that the feet are the same. Like, the thigh bits are the same. Maybe these little bits here are the same. And I'd say that's it. That's all they share. That is all they share. Aside from that, nothing else. Maybe like some of the internal structure of the legs, but that's about it. Yes, Devcon is such a heavy retool that he only shares like, what, 3, maybe 4 parts of Blur. And that's about it. So, yeah. But, well, moving on to this guy's articulation. Well, his head can go side to side. He can sort of look up and down. The arms can, of course, go fully around. Hopefully, just be worried that this can get in the way. He can T-pose. He's got elbows. Got a swivel right there. It's not here. It's not at this joint. It's at this joint. It's nothing at the wrists. Waist swivel. Legs can go forward that far. Back about that far. He's got knees. Can do just splits. He's got an ankle pivot. And thanks to the transformation, he can move his toes. So if you want to have him pose like this, then there you go. And well, that's pretty much all I have to say about this guy. Complaints? Well, in fact, I'm sort of struggling to think of any. Because, well, this is honestly just a fine figure in my opinion. Like, he's not great, but he's not bad either. He's just, yeah, he's just yeah, like overall, he's just a fine figure. So overall complaints, I mean, the only ones I can really think of are, if you put blast effects in here, it just sort of weighs down the arm a little bit. I think overall, I'm just really glad that this guy finally has a figure that you don't have to, like, sell your kidneys to get, because this is a retailer figure, not a convention figure. But, hey, I'm not really the best critic in the world when it comes to Transformers. A lot of flaws that people have with figures, I often either can't see, or I just don't mind. So, yeah, other people might have flaws with this figure, but I really can't see that many. Does that mean that this figure is one of the best? No, like, this is just a fine figure in my opinion. But yeah, this guy would go really great with Earthright Smokescreen. So if you want to replicate that episode, yeah, this is a really fine figure to do that with. So do I recommend him? Well, yeah, if you're a fan of that episode, well, I mean, sure. But if you are, then yeah, this is a good figure to do that with. So, yeah, so whether you like that episode, if you're trying to collect Legacy, if you just like this guy in general, if you... Well, I just recommend this guy overall because I just really like this figure. So, yeah. So, this has been my review on Legacy Evolution Devcon. And this is Charlie Young, signing off.